Rage.
Introducing for the World Arm Wrestling title for the best of 7 rounds. Bringing on first in the red corner, the prodigy, Kersten Mercieca. Representing Italy and Malta with a weight of 85.2 kilograms, holding multiple Maltese championships, the current under 90 kilo Sicilian champion and the current Italian champion. Bringing over the prodigy, Kersten Mercieca. And introducing his opponent on the blue podium. This is a multiple-time Bulgarian champion, multiple-time European champion, and the current world champion. Bringing over from the blue corner, make some noise for the superstar, Bozhidar Simeonov!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we have it, the main event. Kersten Mercieca up against Bozhidar Simeonov. This is for a world title. Bozhidar Simeonov, of course, the current and defending world champion out of Bulgaria. Multiple European champion, multiple world champion is Bozhidar Simeonov. And Kersten Mercieca, the man, he is challenging him after a long, epic comeback story from injury. He is back once again, ready to face Bozhidar Simeonov for a chance at the world title. This is going to be a best of 7 round match. We will open up with Kersten Mercieca on the left of screen and Bozhidar Simeonov on the right. We can expect this to be an absolute battle. Bozhidar Simeonov, of course, known very much for his inside power. Kersten Mercieca, known very much for his outside game. So let's see where this one goes.
Once again, your competitors, Kersten Mercieca and Bozhidar Simeonov. This is for the World Championship.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go as the athletes step to the table. Kersten Mercieca and Bozhidar Simeonov, they will face for the world title here in the best of 7 round match. On the right arm,
best of 7 rounds.
Kersten Mercieca, the challenger here, up against the legend of arm wrestling, Bozhidar Simeonov from Bulgaria. Round number 1, we're going to get this set straight away. We're going to find out the intent of these athletes. Bozhidar, of course, known for his endurance and his inside pulling, but you can see the slip there happens in round number 1. Kersten Mercieca, excellent outside game, but powerful inside as well. Someone who really does have options when it comes to his technical prowess. Bozhidar Simeonov, we know him classically. He gets supinated, he digs his elbow in, and nobody can get through his side pressure. That's what we expect from the multiple world champion. Let's see what Kersten can bring. As we see that replay of the slip there, it was pretty mutual in that one. No one looked like they had hand control or more back pressure than the other. So all indications so far are that we are getting set for a very tough battle. Kersten Mercieca, of course, from Malta on the left, and Bozhidar, Bulgaria, on the right, as the referees get them set. Round number 1, you can see a pretty neutral setup there in respect to the knuckle height. You can see that slight low hand top roll position from Kersten. There's the start. Side pressure from Bozhidar Simeonov, but a good catch and defense now from Kersten. He's getting slowly turned in to a hook, and it is the side pressure. Bozhidar Simeonov shows what he does best, gets the first pin, round number 1, but it was a good stop. You can see Kersten was looking for the opportunity to break open the wrist of Bozhidar Simeonov, not quite getting it, and Bozhidar's repeated side pressure attacks was close to curling Kersten into the hook, but instead of getting it deep into the hook, just launches sideways with a relentless attack and gets through the defense. Kersten, of course, avoiding going to the open arm. He wants to stay tight. He wants to keep that hand control in, but the shoulder commitment of Bozhidar, that third drive there, really added a bit of pronation at the end and took the wrist away from Kersten Mercieca and gets that 1-0 lead. Round number 1 going to the current and defending world champion Bozhidar Simeonov.
Fighters approach the table.
All right, round number 2, not far away. These athletes will swap sides of the table. chalking up, getting good to go. Kersten Mercieca, not the start he would have been looking for, but he now has the opportunity. He's felt the lane that Bozhidar Simeonov is attacking. Now he's going to work on Bozhidar's hand. Over and over, he's going to look for the opportunity to break open the wrist of the Bulgarian champ. Bozhidar on his side of the coin, he just wants to get an arm on arm and says, let's get into the battle. Let's test your elbow against mine. Outside of straps now, Kersten on the right. You can see the aggression in the eyes there, but wow, Bozhidar Simeonov. Flash pin outside of the straps. Impressive side pressure. You got to take your hat off to the Bulgarian superstar there. Kersten was loaded up. His pronation looked good, but Bozhidar, the speed of the start, just cut off the pronation of Kersten and slammed sideways. Such impressive integrity of the inner elbow of Bozhidar Simeonov. You'll see the replay. A slight early start from Kersten, and then they set again, but it didn't matter because when Bozhidar launched sideways, it was one-way traffic, and we see the replay now. Slow motion shows the story well. The aggression was there from both guys. You could see the intent in their eyes, and as the referee started, it was just pure wrist flexion, pronated side pressure from Bozhidar, and separated Kersten from his power. And 2-0 now. Bozhidar Simeonov in a commanding lead as they enter into round number 3. Kersten Mercieca is going to have to find some spark here. He needs to get into this match. The power looks like it's there. He's just missing the jump compared to that of the Bulgarian Bozhidar Simeonov. Round number 3, better start. Kersten Mercieca commits inside this time. Says, enough with the top roll, I'm coming in. And goodness me, ladies and gentlemen, 2-1. Bozhidar Simeonov has just been pinned by Kersten Mercieca. Wow, what a comeback. So Kersten totally changing tactics. He says, enough with trying to take the wrist of Bozhidar Simeonov. I am just going to fight fire with fire and launch sideways myself. And he does it incredibly successfully. Let's have a look at the replay because, my goodness me, beautiful side pressure, wrist flexion from Kersten. Takes away all of the control of the pronator of Bozhidar Simeonov. Gets a beautiful position. He reloads the cannon, and then that second fire of side pressure gets it done. Big roar from Kersten as he gets on the board officially. 2-1 now. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a match all of a sudden here in this best of 7 world title arm wrestling bout. Impressive stuff. Anyone's game right now. You can see how arm wrestling is so much about the little details. It's not just about strength, it's about choosing the correct execution, the tactics required in order to get a successful pin are very, very detailed. Kersten now on the board. Bozhidar Simeonov now going to have to think. He's aware that he can beat Kersten's top roll, but now with Bozhidar Simeonov having been pinned by Kersten in the hook, Kersten himself with another opportunity, and Bozhidar's going to have to now think about, do I just commit into the hook for the war, or do I want to try to separate him? But here we go. We're going to find out the answer to this question right now as we set up for round number 4. Referee's getting him set. You can see this time Bozhidar's leaning forward. He's committing shoulder. He says, all right, you want a hook? Let's hook. Let's find out hook on hook what happens. And I suspect we're going to get the same thing from Kersten. We're going to probably go hook on hook here, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready for a war. And it does. It goes exactly there. Hook on hook. Kersten in a great position with a slight center control. But Bozhidar Simeonov sitting on his elbow, which is what he does best. He is known for the endurance in the hook. Kersten Mercieca with great hand control. Tempts the side pressure and top roll. Almost gets a pin on Bozhidar. Bozhidar having to dig deep here. He's committing his shoulder. Another surge from Kersten. Almost with the pin. Kersten in a fantastic hand control position. He's winning the back pressure game here, but the elbow of Bozhidar is holding him in this match. Another side pressure surge from Kersten, who's now considering looking for the press, and here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. Kersten Mercieca with the press and equalizes this one 2-2. Goodness me, ladies and gentlemen. You thought Bozhidar Simeonov had this match wrapped up if it went inside, but Kersten Mercieca is quickly changing that opinion of the crowd and is showing that it is in fact his inside game that is the dominant force for him. Everyone expected Kersten to be looking for the top roll tonight, but we are 2-2 with Kersten Mercieca winning that last round with a solid press outside of the straps. Lets the wrist go and presses through on the bone line of Bozhidar Simeonov to get this match equalized at 2-2. Ladies and gentlemen, all of a sudden, the world champion, Bozhidar Simeonov, now with his back against the wall because all of the momentum is with the man from Malta, Kersten Mercieca, at 2-2 now. This is, of course, a best-of-7 round match, so we must get to 4. You can see Bozhidar Simeonov vigorously rubbing the forearm there and the inner elbow. We know that he has endurance. We know he can sit on a supinated block for a long time. But Kersten Mercieca just showed that he has the inside power, particularly through the hand control and the pronation of his hook. That was the difference that allowed him to get access to the press. And Bozhidar Simeonov's now going to have to come up with something new if he is going to defend his world title right here. Kersten Mercieca smells blood in the water. He wants it. Bozhidar Simeonov, let's see where he goes. Will he throw out a top roll of his own up against Kersten's impressive hook? We go to the referee's grip.
Referee's grip will be applied.
All right, referee's grip now. Asking, of course, each of the athletes if they want their thumb knuckles covered by their fingers as their hands are closed. A technical decision for each athlete. The referee will square the shoulders, then get, of course, the webbing even and centered. And then we will fight and find out who's going to take the 3-2 lead in this match. Kersten Mercieca, what an opportunity he has here against the world champion Bozhidar Simeonov. Referee's grip looks like it's been called. Oh no, we've got a foul on Kersten. The camera distance make it a little bit difficult, but we can see there the referee has indicated a foul in the referee's grip on Kersten. A little bit of movement there. One foul on Kersten Mercieca in the referee's grip. He won't be happy with that. He'll be on thin ice now as he goes into round number 5. Bozhidar Simeonov still on 0 fouls, so he will feel good about his opportunities. He can push a little harder for the positions that he wants in this referee's grip. Crowd there getting behind these two athletes. You can see a lot of passion there as the people are cheering on their man. And there is the start. It looks like what do we got? Another foul on Kersten Mercieca in the start. The camera distance made it a little tricky, but it looked like an aggressive side pressure from Bozhidar Simeonov and perhaps an elbow foul from Kersten Mercieca. And the victory is awarded to Bozhidar Simeonov, who now leads 3-2 in this best-of-7 match. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is still anybody's game. Bozhidar Simeonov will be happy with that one, getting a somewhat of a free win there. A cheeky win where he didn't have to work particularly hard, just one surge off the go, getting the job done with the second foul on Kersten Mercieca and the awarded win 3-2 to Bozhidar Simeonov. Kersten, you can see, not particularly happy with that result, but you got to go with it. That's the way the referee has called it. Kersten now walking to the other side of the table. He's now back against the wall. Must win every single round from here if he is to take this world title off the man from Bulgaria, who is only one pin away from securing yet again another title defense. Kersten Mercieca has looked so promising in rounds 3 and 4. Bozhidar Simeonov looked the goods whenever Kersten was top rolling. Bozhidar looked good. But as soon as we saw Kersten come in, it did change a lot of the dynamic of the match. And now at 2-3, Kersten must win this next round if he is to stay in this match. All right, here we go now. Round number 6. You can see Kersten, he is showing his intent, and it's to come forward. He's got his shoulders high. He's leaning forward. That's the classical press position. Bozhidar Simeonov, oh my goodness me. Before I could even finish talking, Bozhidar Simeonov has been flash pinned by Kersten Mercieca I can only describe it as an Andrei Pushkar-esque flash press from the start. Tall body position from Kersten Mercieca, launched into side pressure and flash pins Bozhidar Simeonov in an equalizer that will now send this match into the silver bullet. Round number 7, ladies and gentlemen. The winner of this next round will be crowned the world champion. As we see the replay here, amazing just side pressure drive from Kersten, who just committed inside. You can see the roar from Kersten Mercieca and the dismay from Bozhidar Simeonov as he can't believe it's going into the silver bullet round. But here we go, round number 7. All of the glory on the line right here. And Kersten Mercieca has never had an opportunity as good as this. Right here, right now, one more pin, and he can say he is the world champion, having defeated Bozhidar Simeonov. And Bozhidar Simeonov, of course, determined to get his title defense complete. He steps to the table. One last round here. Kersten Mercieca and Bozhidar Simeonov. Here we go. Round number 7. Referee calls both athletes to the table. Athletes now just chalking up this last round so very serious. All details must be correct. And they've elected to go straight to the strap, it would seem. Interesting decision there by both athletes. As we have seen some flash pins out of the straps from both of them. Neither one wants to be flash pinned in round number 7. So they're tying themselves together. This one will be a power battle. This one will be whoever can dig the deepest will be your world champion tonight. Kersten Mercieca, Bozhidar Simeonov. It is 3-3. And this is your final round, ladies and gentlemen. Watch for an absolute war. I suspect both men are going to dig deep in this one, and both men being tied together are going to have to grind this one out. Kersten, hungry for the first ever victory of his over Bozhidar Simeonov. Bozhidar, hungry for yet again another world title defense. Referee's now tightening the strap up. It's a free grip at the moment. The referee's now undoing the strap there. Someone not happy, going to reapply that one. World title on the line. You can see the Champions Trophy being held up in the background there. That's what they're fighting for. Of course, all the bragging rights as well. This being in that 85 kilo division. Kersten Mercieca. Bozhidar Simeonov, a multiple 80 kilo world champion. Of course, incredibly decorated. Bozhidar Simeonov, the man from Bulgaria. As these two get tied up in the straps for this final round number 7. Do not look away, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a tough battle. I can feel it. Both guys ready to go. Straps now on, being tightened by the referee. Will Bozhidar back himself in the hook against Kersten, who has looked dominant? But yes, it looks like that's where we're going, ladies and gentlemen. Both athletes leading forward. Get ready for an absolute grinder in this round number 7. Kersten Mercieca, Bozhidar Simeonov. Here we go. Round number 7. It's going to be hook on hook. You can see it coming. Referee's getting them set, getting them straight. Little details now, Kersten. Making sure elbow positions are correct. Bozhidar Simeonov focusing on the hand and wrist. And we're so close to a start, but we're off to the referee's grip. Both athletes were ready to go, but the referees wanted a little more turning out of the wrist line. This time, we will get the start. Referee's grip. Round number 7. This is for the world title. Kersten Mercieca, Bozhidar Simeonov, referee's grip, round number 7. Here we go. And we go inside in the hook from Bozhidar Simeonov, a dragging pronation from Kersten Mercieca. He's looking for the pin. Bozhidar Simeonov holding on for dear life. He wants to get that endurance in. He resets the elbow position, takes a bit more side pressure. Kersten relaxes a little bit, loading up. Another offensive drive, and now Bozhidar Simeonov starts to lean on Kersten Mercieca. He starts to build up the lactic acid as Kersten Mercieca looking for a way to relax. Here comes an offense now from Bozhidar Simeonov. He goes on the drive, looking for the pin. Kersten Mercieca gets opened up. What's the call? Looks like we have a winner, ladies and gentlemen. Your world champion once again, Bozhidar Simeonov. But my goodness me, what an extraordinary match we have just witnessed there. Kersten Mercieca coming oh so close to a title upset there. But ladies and gentlemen, congratulations belong to the Bulgarian superstar Bozhidar Simeonov, who is once again your world champion.
I'm here with Bozhidar, world champion. How does it feel?
Feeling amazing. I'm glad to be back to Malta. Every time, the atmosphere, the audience, the stage, everything is amazing. Thank you. Thanks to the organizers. Thanks to Kersten and his family for accepting me here. Once again, facing me.
Look at that sportsmanship. Make some noise for Bozhidar, but also make some noise for your own man, Kersten Mercieca. That was one of the most exhilarating arm wrestling championships I have seen in a long time. Only one can be world champion, but both of you are absolute heroes. Well done, boys. And ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for all our competitors here today. Make some noise for the world champion Bozhidar. Make some noise for Kersten.
Not only does he get the world title, he gets a huge cash prize. He gets protein from Titan Fuel. He gets a gift voucher from Team Sport. And he gets a sports recovery massage from Tov Salon in Slima. You are our first ever world champion, sir. Congratulations. This is history in the making. This is Rage Kombat, ladies and gentlemen. Feel the rage. And we will be back again, guys. There's plenty more action. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on YouTube. We will be back.